Hi guys, it's Kara from Goddess to Goodness. I'm actually doing a live reading tonight regarding brand new relationships, connections, love relationships, and connections. So, love is in the air, summer's here, and this reading is for anybody who has a person in mind. You could be in separation with somebody right now and wondering about a new beginning, or you could have just met somebody and are wondering how it's going to work out, or you could have a person that you've been talking to and just wondering how it might go with them. So we do have a few interesting energies coming up for this next week. We have a solar eclipse coming up, which will only be visible in the southern hemisphere. But along with that, which are crazy energies, we also have it's a new moon. And so that's coming up right after. And just lately, it's been like crazy energies anyways. And so we had the summer solstice, and before that, we had the new moon. And so there is a lot of purging and releasing of like old patterns and ideals, releasing of old habits or belief systems, programming, things like that. But along with that, we have the new beginning and the karmic cycles kind of coming to a close and fresh new starts. So, with that in mind, I call into my archangels, my angel guides, my fairy guides, and ascended masters, and let's get this reading going. So I'm actually going to start out with the Faerie Oracle by Brian Froud. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my oldest decks. It's my favorite. And I'm laughing because fairies are very silly. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the topsy-turvies, which is kind of things turning upside down. Not necessarily in a bad way, but things just kind of like switching around, switching place, almost like musical chairs of the cosmos. So I'm actually going to pull a few of these cards just to get a feel of the energies for this time period. So, Spirit, can I just have 3 cards regarding the energies for the upcoming week here regarding new love relationships, new starts, new beginnings, new connections. 3 cards, and we got one right there, and one more, please. One more card, please, Spirit, for new beginnings in love. New connections, new beginnings, new starts. And they're giving me 5. Wow. And the fairies do this all the time because they are quite silly. So the first card we have is the Journeyman, number 13, 15. The Journeyman is actually showing that things are on its course. Things are moving ahead, moving along. We're on a journey, quite literally. And so it's just showing that the journey has begun. And this can be in regards to past healing, current healing, things of that nature. We then have the Maiden, which is number 14, which is interesting that that card is next. The Maiden is actually, let me see if I can angle this a little better. The Maiden actually represents, again, not fresh new starts. It does, but it actually represents like a fresh new view of things, if we could put it that way. Just trying to get these two. So it's actually like a fresh new view with the eyes of a child, seeing things in a fresh new light with a new perspective. And kind of like just taking things as they come with a fresh vision. And again, it's very childlike, full of wonder, full of hope, full of optimism. So I love this. This is a great card. Our next card here is Guardian of the Gate, which is number 3. 3s are beautiful, beautiful cards, especially for, I just want to angle this a little better. There we go. Guardian of the Gate, this card actually signifies actually breaking open a threshold or through a gate. This could be like the doors of perception, this could be like having a new realization or a new view on things, but it's like crashing through the gate, which maybe once held you back, but now you're actually like flowing through it, like very free and very untethered to past traumas, past regrets, past belief systems, past perceptions. Your mind is opening. You may realize that there are things that no longer serve you, and it's not just about like people, places, and things, but it's more about like letting go of stale ideas and stale behaviors, stale ways of thinking and perception that no longer serve you anymore. And it's like you're beginning to realize that things aren't necessarily the way you used to view them. And again, we all view things in certain ways. Our perception is colored by what we go through. And we all develop like patterns and behaviors that kind of will protect us at the time. At the time, it's protecting us. It's survival. It's the ego's way, your mind's way of protecting you. But this card is it's blue in color, but honestly, what I get from this, it's really like a cool card. So you have this, and what's cool about this card here also is like the color of it. So these are the colors of like the crown chakra and like your third eye. So it's a lot of like indigos and purples and like these bright like white, but it's like this glowing white. So it's like coming from the divine. It's like a renewed sense of self. You may be seeing things in yourself that you didn't see before, or like I said, a fresh new vision. I find this interesting because like you could see these cards are really worn out, but first of all, 3 is like a number of the divine. It symbolizes all kinds of things like mind, body, spirit, the Holy Trinity. We have all kinds of, the triangle is one of the strongest shapes with the 3 sides. You put 2 triangles together, that makes the Star of David, which is like the union of the masculine and the feminine. And that's not physically, it could be physically masculine and feminine, but it's usually the yin and the yang inside of each of us. We all have both of those both sides to that. And what I like about this is it actually shows like the 2 going through this almost like crown of, it almost looks like a star or like a sparkler to me, like, which is so appropriate for the 4th of July. But it's like unifying, excuse me, unifying into one. And so not only is this bright white the color of like our, of like the divine and being met with things we may not have realized, but this is also like the color of the throat chakra. And it's funny, I just coughed there because it's almost like we're opening up to our deepest truths about what we really deserve in life. And a lot of us, like trauma affects us all in different ways, but a lot of a big part of the way trauma affects us is it has a nasty way of making us feel like we don't deserve certain things. We don't deserve to be happy. We don't deserve love. We don't deserve unconditional love. We don't deserve to unconditionally love others. We don't deserve abundance. That's bullshit. We deserve all of that. We're born in this childlike state to believe that everything is possible. And then life, the education system, all kinds of things come in to kind of condition us to perceive. And when I say perceive, it really is just that. It's a perception. It's not a truth. It's not law. It's not anything like that. We literally are colored to believe that we don't deserve certain things. And I feel like now is a really good time to start recognizing that we do deserve unconditional love. We deserve abundance. We deserve all the beautiful things in life that there are to offer. And so we do have 2 more cards here, folks. The Soul Shrinker. The Soul Shrinker is actually a card of, it's showing that I feel like we're coming out of this, okay? So we're on this journey. We're looking at things with a fresh new perspective. We're going through this gate here. And this Soul Shrinker usually signifies like, like maybe like people talking about you or judging you or things like that. But in this case, I really don't feel it is that. I really feel that this or like maybe like cutting you down or shrinking your soul in a sense, like making you feel small, making you feel worthless, making you feel heavy. That's not what this is. This is actually a release of the soul shrinker energy. So we are releasing all these things in the past that have made our soul shrink. And the number here is 55, which is like a double five. So normally I would like add these together and give you like a 10, which then reduces to a 1. 1 again being like something given from the divine, which that this really is. This is like our alignment with spirit, alignment with the divine, and realizing that we are one with the divine. The divine is inside of all of us. And like I said, we both carry the masculine and feminine energies. This is showing that really there is that divinity there, that unity. And it's showing that and it's also the unity of our light and our shadow selves, okay? So we all have these great light parts of us that we just love and are great and like whatever. And then when we have our shadow selves, you know, like the parts of us that have been through the trauma, that have been through the dark places, that have seen the dark stuff, it shrinks our soul. But here, because it's a double 5, I'm also going to point out that 5s are a number of change. Things are changing. They are, we are purging things, again, that like no longer serve us, that hold us back, that make us feel small. We now have the card here, Lady of the Harvest, which she's just gorgeous. Like here she is. She has pixies and fairies and gnomes and everything just dancing around her. It's time for the harvest, folks. We're literally ready to like pluck the fruit like off the tree, like all the fruit of our labors. It's there. It's there. We have to believe it's there. We have to see that it's there and know that it's there for you to take. So all this hard work that you've been doing, like through your journey, and being able to see things with a fresh new sight and crossing this threshold of this gate and unifying your male and your masculine and feminine energies and releasing the soul shrinker energy, releasing the things that make you feel dark, that make you feel hopeless. We are now coming into abundance. So we are beginning to see that by doing all this work and purging, doing all this healing and things like that, we are now coming into abundance, into the fruit of our labor, and we are able to then harvest what is meant for us. Okay, so the next deck I'm going to use is the Mermaid Tarot. It's just, I love this deck. It's super fun, and like, especially because it was like 100 degrees out today. I work on a couple of estates locally as the master gardener. I take care of all the plants and make things grow and yada yada yada. And so yeah, today everything was in bloom. It was singing. There was one of the robin's nests that I deal with quite often. It's in an English ivy on one of the fences. I had pruned it right in spring. There were eggs in there. It was beautiful. The mother was squawking at me. Well, today she was squawking at me again. She has a whole new beginning. She has a whole new brood in there, which I was really surprised. It was all like neatly covered up with nesting material. And I mean, I just kind of like, you know, walked by and kind of gave her a wink. But as soon as I walked away, she stopped squawking. But she has a whole new brood of babies in there, and it might not be the same robin, it may be a different robin, but it was just really awesome to see that new beginning there. I heard lots of baby birds chirping, and unfortunately I did find one that fell out of the nest, the poor thing. So I did dig a hole in one of the gardens, and I buried it with a few pansies and a pink petunia that I did find in one of the pots I did. So I did put that little baby to rest. And they also, even in death, we also have new beginnings. So Spirit, I would like, we're asking about the love energy here, new beginnings, fresh starts, for the upcoming week, please. New beginnings and fresh starts in love, please. Spirit, new beginnings. Oh, there we go. 2 more cards, please. And fresh starts in love. New beginnings and fresh starts in love, please. New beginnings and fresh starts in love. Oh, there we go. 1 more card, please. New beginnings and fresh starts in love, please. One more card, Spirit. New beginnings and fresh starts in love. One more card, please. New beginnings. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. First. Oh, wow. They give us a couple there. Okay. Okay, so our first card here is the Three of Swords. So this shows that, like, I feel like some of us have been coming from the place of broken hearts. And I find this card interesting because I did find a bird yesterday at the waterfront. He had a broken wing, or I assume, but he was struggling. He was on the cement. I did go to, my mom and I were taking a walk. I did go to the car and grab a bag. I scooped him up. My mom and I drove to 2 vets. Nobody would take him. And they suggested we go to the wildlife. I was going to go to the zoo, but they were like, no, go to the wildlife department of the SPCA in West Seneca. We went over there. They rushed him right back. And as I was filling out the paperwork as to where I found him, how I found him, yada, 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 she came right back and she said, dear, I'm sorry, but he passed. And I don't know. I just tried so hard to save him. I literally was like, my heart was like crushed. And I did. I instantly started crying. And it was, I just wanted to save him. I just didn't want somebody to like kick him into the lake or an animal to get him. And I really did. I just wanted to give him that hope, that second chance. And he passed away in my hands on the way to the SPCA. And I that's kind of how I feel. Like, he wasn't my pet. He wasn't, but I did. I just really wanted to do good for him. So the Three of Swords here, this shows like heartbreak, sadness, letting something go. Excuse me. My goodness. It shows letting something go that even though it may have been unexpected or may have been unplanned, how can I say this? It's, what I'm getting here is, it's letting something go that even though that you know that it made this very large impact on you. Obviously, this is a whale, so this, it might not have been their pet, it might not have been their friend, it might not have whatever, but here they come across, they see this whale, and it lay, dying in the cold, and there's actually nothing they can do to save it. So they're heartbroken, and it's not anything they did, it's not anything anybody did to them, it's just the circumstance. The circumstance is just kind of what's leading to this heartbreak here. And the heartbreak actually stems from compassion. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to I'm like tearing up a little here because it's really a beautiful gesture of unconditional love. And it's like 3 warriors here, and they lay down their swords in reverence, out of respect to this great animal, this great beast. And I just feel like this is the type of heartbreak that isn't coming from like the misdeeds of others or the misdoings of others. It's actually something that's looked at as a blessing and something that's, again, it's a blessing on 2 ways, because here's this like majestic creature, and all of us and every animal on this, every plant and every animal in this beautiful world is a blessing from the divine. And it's just about giving that compassion and that reverence and that respect to where it belongs. They might not have known this creature, but it's about the respect for the life and the soul and the role that this animal took. And I just feel like in our lives we're kind of maybe going through that a little bit. So where you might look back on something that happened to you that may have hurt you, it may have cut you to the core, it may have traumatized you, but I feel like brings out this level of compassion or sincerity or reverence. It actually becomes the blessing. And at the time, it may not have looked like a blessing. It may have looked like, why me? Like, what? Why? This is the worst thing ever. This is the worst thing in the world. But this is not what this means. This is showing you that even though it may have hurt in the past and things may have hurt you, cut you, scarred you, it's actually bringing about the compassion and unconditional love inside you for others, for, of all things, for yourself. And here these two look forward, and this one is just kind of how I felt yesterday with the bird. Like I was almost like surprised at how much it affected me. Not surprised, but it just shows that things run deep, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we actually put blocks up for ourselves because having been hurt in the past or having lost something in the past, we don't want to hurt again. But that's your ego talking. That's your mind. When your heart opens up and you come through the darkness to the other side, it turns you into a person who is his divine power and capable of that unconditional love. They don't know this creature. They've never met this creature. But you still have that. You still love this creature in the meaning of its life as much as you would have loved your pet, yourself, your other. We are all one and we are all connected. Next, we have the Tower. These are the Tower moments in life. The Tower is what comes crashing down. It's what breaks apart foundations and what breaks about when I say foundations, it's usually foundations and ways of thinking, foundations and ways of acting, of ways of being, of ways of perceiving. I feel like we're at a time where these foundations and structures inside of our psyche, inside of our life experience are being broken down. The things we thought to be true or thought, things like, I don't deserve love, or we may not consciously believe these things, but trauma is a weird way of inadvertently, sneakily making you feel like this. And so, or I loved this pet and it passed away and I don't want to get hurt again, so I don't want to. Trauma is a weird way of making us think things like that, which are outdated patterns that are no longer serving us. Well, what happens when you have a Tower moment and the foundation breaks and crumbles to the ground and you're left with this pile of rubble? Okay? This is like an earthquake where literally everything's just toppling to the ground. Here in the back, what I love about this card is like here in the back we have this bright, bright green, and that's usually representative of like heart chakra. So I feel like with this Tower moment, with the foundation crumbling, your heart chakra is actually opening up. It's opening up to love. It's opening up to compassion. It's opening up for you to love yourself. It's opening up for you to love others. And it's about rising again from the rubble. It's about taking those same bricks and rearranging them in a different way to where it is victorious and to where it is stable and to where it is glorious and to where it is something that is shining, a beacon to others. And it's about learning that whatever happened to us in the past actually is the blessing, because it's showing you that this foundation was crumbly and stable anyways. And it's showing you that when you build yourself back up, you open that heart chakra, you open to unconditional love, you open to compassion, you open to compassion for yourself and for others and for all things. You open to that unconditional love. Just because there's unconditional love does not mean that you have to accept toxic things into your life, toxic behaviors, toxic anything, but it just shows that you have a love of all things and everybody is where they are. Everybody goes through their certain levels of healing on their own, and it's their journey. Again, it's their journey. They will gain that fresh new perspective. They will cross through the gate. They will let go of the things that shrink their souls, and they will find their harvest. And it just shows that from heartbreak, like a phoenix here with the red, we can almost rise from the ashes and begin again. And because of the reds in the background here, I almost feel like it might have something to do with the root chakra. And the root chakra is like deep-seated, like emotional, everything. Feelings of security, sexuality. It's all these things that like literally are like the root of our beings. And so we're getting shaken up here. We're having tower moments. We're realizing, we have that giant realization that this no longer serves me, and like it's okay. And to release it though with love. Like, okay, and this is just an example, you know, you may or may not get along with your mother, your father, your brother, your whatever. It's okay to admit and say, okay, we don't get along. Maybe you don't even like them. Maybe they don't like you. Maybe your life growing up with them or being in a relationship with a certain person literally brought you to pieces, brought you to the ground. But what this is teaching you is from heartbreak, you can rebuild. And again, you can still have unconditional love for people and things regardless of the heartbreak, of the hurt, because you're on this journey. And what I'm getting here is, look at those things as a blessing, because from this heartbreak, from this journey, from the new perspective and crossing through the gate and leaving the soul shrinker energy behind, the things that made you feel small or heavy, you can step into this harvest and you can actually regain yourself, even more of yourself, a truer version of yourself. So where these things seem so horrible in the background, the Three of Swords, the soul shrinker journey, the soul shrinker energy, the journey may have been confusing, the fresh perspective may have been tough, crossing through that threshold may have been even harder, but here it is. It's a blessing. It actually ends up being a blessing because the next card is just awesome here. Excuse me, I had a really long day. A lot of talking and a lot of working outside. My throat is so dry. But it actually helps you step into this Empress energy. So again, we both have the masculine and feminine inside of us. So whether you are the masculine or the feminine in the situation, it doesn't matter. This tower, and I'm not sure which one of these came first, but ultimately I really don't think it matters. No, I don't think it matters. The Empress card here, it's helping you step into this Empress energy. The Empress is the Queen of Queens. All right, she's fertile, she's abundant, she's nurturing, she's full of unconditional love. She's able to give it, she's able to receive it. Most importantly, she unconditionally loves herself. She unconditionally loves the divine here. The divine is actually like what is leading her through all of these moments and all of these steps, all these steps on this journey here, all these steps on this journey, okay? You may not know where it's going to lead. I mean, none of us really do. But what I can say, I just want to try to get this. I'm trying to get this glare off here. None of us know where this journey is going to lead. But again, we're on the journey and we're having faith here. The faith in our journey and the faith that our soul will know the right steps and where to take us and where to lead us, because we're listening to that inner voice now. The Empress is full of intuition. She's full of guidance that comes from, it comes from the divine, but the divine is in all of us. You ever listen to a seashell? And there's no water in there. You're actually hearing, we hear the ocean though. You've heard that as a child. Oh, put the shell up to your ear and you hear the ocean. We're not. We're actually hearing the blood rushing through our own, whatchamacallit, not our nervous system, but our circulatory system, okay? We're actually hearing our own flow. That's what we're hearing here. We're hearing our own flow. The flow that we hear, that we call the ocean, is coming from inside, and that's what this is saying to you. You have an ocean of abundance and knowledge and insight within you. You are an ocean of unconditional love. You are an ocean of all things, of kindness, compassion. We are also the dark side as well. We are all the anger and sadness and disappointment, but it's showing you to take all of that. You take all of that stuff and you look at it and turn it, you see it for the blessing that it is, and have compassion for all that stuff that irks you about yourself. It's showing you to actually greet it with compassion. Like, okay, I'm late all the time. I'm disorganized. I am flaky sometimes, and it drives me nuts. But instead of letting it drive me nuts and looking at it as a negative, which I have in the past, it's been treated like a negative, and I understand, like, other people's time is just as valuable as mine. But the light side of that darkness is that I'm spontaneous, and I'm just fly by to the seat of my pants. I can have fun and be jovial, and I don't take myself or things too seriously, and I'm able to have fun. Where when you constrict yourself into a box, that's no fun. Like, that's a big part of that. That's no fun. But here you're stepping into the Empress energy, and the Empress is fertile. She's abundant. She's able to make clear decisions and able to know and trust herself and know that her divinity is hers and it comes from within. And the Empress is above all queens. It's above all royalty. Her counterpart is the Emperor. But here she is. She sits atop. She has a seashell in her hand. And again, you could listen to the ocean and that seashell, but you have to realize that you are the ocean. The ocean is inside of you, and that's where all that beauty and all that majesty comes from. We now have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords here, this is like a quick truth. It's coming in quick. So this Tower moment is making you realize your abundance and your power, but it's also showing you that it's also bringing in whatever truths that may have been hidden from you. It's also bringing those in very quickly. So if this is regarding, again, I started this as a love relationship, and I believe this is still a love relationship, and this could be, excuse me. Oh my goodness. This could, and again, this is the color blue, which I love. This is the color blue. It's all very cool blue, which is the throat chakra. And this is like communication. It's communicating with yourself. It's communicating, yes, maybe with that new connection that you've just made, and you're wondering if this new beginning is going to work out. This could be a new beginning, a new truth about somebody you may have been connected with in the past and are in separation or maybe not talking. This could be somebody that you've just started something with, and I'm not sure it's going to work out. And this, I really actually, though, I'm honestly getting that this is like the love of self. Like, this is the truth to yourself. You're actually beginning to see and beginning to offer yourself that compassion and that love. Once you do that, then it's easy to offer it to other people, and it comes back to you. When you start giving it to yourself, it literally starts bombarding you. Unconditional love and spiritual truths and awakenings start literally like just finding you. They're finding you. And so from these tower moments and from these sadness, we look at this as a blessing. And by looking at it as the blessing, you're stepping into this Empress energy. You're rising above. You're finding your power. You're finding your true self. And here is this truth. It's coming in on the night, with the night, usually on a horse, but this is the Mermaid Tarot, so we have it in a tidal wave. It's a tidal wave of truth. So this is literally, and this is the sword of truth here. I don't know. She's literally like riding this tidal wave, like ready to feed this sword of truth, clean, clear, and ready to take in. So Spirit, my next question is what can we expect now in this upcoming week after these tower moments regarding new beginnings, fresh starts in love? What is it that we can look forward to in result of these tower moments and these truths being revealed to us? What energies in love and fresh starts and new beginnings can we look forward to after learning the truths after these tower moments? Geez. The Two of Cups. Guys, this is awesome. This is so neat. The Two of Cups is the emotion card. Like, so it's feelings, and like our feelings guide a lot of what we do. Like these feelings they drive us in like almost everything. Like you have a feeling about something, you do this. You have a feeling about something, you think this. You have a feeling about something, you dislike this. Feelings drive us in everything. You feel hungry, you eat. You feel tired, you sleep. You feel. You feel wary, you don't go there. You feel exuberant, you stay. This card is the Two of Cups, and this is showing it's a partnership, and it's a divine. This is like from the divine. So if this resonates with your situation, and this is a lover, somebody you haven't been in contact with, a romantic the person you think of romantically in your life, this card is showing you that there may be a truth coming in. This tower moment is breaking down the old ways of thinking. It's helping us step into our unconditional love and our Empress energy. It's bringing forth a clear truth. And if this has to do with love for you, if this resonates, great. And if not, then leave it. But again, this is a love reading. So if this is not regarding a romantic person, then this is the love for yourself. It's your love partnership with the divine. And again, the divine is inside of you. So finding that love and that compassion, whether it's for you or for somebody else, it's inside of you. But I feel like that this is the truth going to be revealed. So if this is your person that you are thinking of who is external from you, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I'm holding this deck and I just looked down and this card is like sticking out. We still have one more card to read that popped out. This card is literally turned over, sticking out, like literally like right there. That's so crazy. That's awesome. I love when this happens. So this is the Two of Cups, folks. So this is a partnership or a relationship that is like orchestrated from the divine. And whether this is a relationship with you and your person of romance, or this is you and yourself, like your inner divinity, it's coming here, folks. This truth is going to reveal this to you. The next card we have is Strength, and Strength is usually a card of courage, and this is showing this same whale from earlier that like gave us this broken heart. And what's interesting here is that this whale with the broken heart energy, this could be like the trauma that was suffered, okay? This could be that energy. So now that I'm like, look, I love this. So this whale right here, it's like that big giant thing that caused the sadness for you, okay? And here they are, they're sad, they're awestruck, it's like shock and awe, and the swords are pointing. Excuse me. These swords are pointing to this thing, so I never even actually thought of that. Now that I'm reading this again, we have the snow here in the background. And the snow here, it's like cold. Like, you know, this cold, lonely, brokenhearted energy. And so like this trauma or this thing that you went through that seems so big and like larger than life and like literally was like obstructing your view, where that was the past. We then have this card here where it's strength. So we're like facing our fears. We're facing our deepest, darkest thing. We're facing this trauma or this hurt or this sadness, and we're releasing it. You could see how she's taking the net away from this this whale, and it's like, not only is she releasing it, but look how compassionate she is with it. This is the blessing. Like, she is not looking at this like, oh man, like, God, I gotta release you. Like, geez, I gotta delve in it. No, I don't know if you could like see her face. It's like compassionate and like loving. Like, she's like, I release you with compassion, and like, I bless you. Like, it's finding the strength and the courage to actually like confront this and look at it and been like, okay, like I reacted however I did. I survived however I could, and like, okay, like it's like speaking to your inner self, and like, you know, so it would be like me like saying like, Kara, like, I love you, like this dark part of you. I understand like why you were there, why it was there, why you had to go through this. I understand like that dark place you were in and how big this felt to you, how overwhelming, but I love you and I release you. I like release you with unconditional love. Wow, I love that. That is like, just, this couldn't be any cooler. So now I just find this so crazy. Like, this card is just literally like waiting to come out. So this is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is great. So here he is, like, he's got the waves crashing in, like, he's looking ahead into, like, this mountain that looks like it's smoking, so it could be, like, it's a volcano. It's, like, this mad, passionate, wands are a card of passion and action, so he's, like, looking at it, like, waiting for it to blow, and, like, making a plan, like, all right, like, what's next? The water is like kind of like, and actually like pushing him towards that. Like, the water isn't coming in this way. The water is actually pushing him out this way. And so he does have his one hand here, which is like where he is now. But he's like once this thing starts to like blow and the magma starts to come out with this like action, this fire, this passion, he's actually like, this is his like plan. It's like, all right, like, I have my hand here, I'm ready, it's pushing me this way, it's pushing me towards there, and like, man, once I get that signal, I'm grabbing this and I'm off. Like, he's making plans for the future, he's looking ahead, he's looking to see what, like, fire and, like, passion is, like about to erupt. Like, this is, like, just, wow, this is so cool, I love this reading. Okay, Spirit. Okay, my next, let's find out, so this is like what's maybe like, this is what is coming up in like the near future, like next few weeks. Like, we got the twos here. I say like 2 weeks, 2 months, like, I don't know, I don't usually like to give times, but it's coming up soon, folks, like, and what's shifting here. So Spirit, what energies will be supporting us for new beginnings, fresh starts, and love during this time? What energies are supporting us for fresh starts and new beginnings at this time? What energies are supporting and driving us forward in this time for love and fresh starts, new beginnings? What energies will be supporting us, Spirit? What energies will be supporting us, please? What energies will be supporting us during this time for fresh starts, new beginnings, and love? Well, I'm only going to take this top one because that's like a million cards. Although, that's really cool. Let's see. I'm just curious here. I'm only going to take that top one. So, we have the Four of Pentacles. So, the Four of Pentacles is kind of like rest. Like, so you're making this plan, and this is like everything in the physical world, the tangible world, like, so work, money, creature comforts, things like that, like statuses of like relationships or stability. This is like all that kind of stuff. So what I see here is like this unconditional love is coming in. I feel like there may be like a particular partnership either with yourself, your divine self in you, your inner child in you. But this is put forth by the divine. I feel like this is like the person you're thinking of, whether it's like you guys have been separated, you guys have been just met, whoever's coming in for you. You have the strength card here because it's like letting go of the old things that no longer serve you. So it's like letting go of those past hurts and past traumas that like are not serving you anymore. They're holding you back. And so you're releasing it with love and compassion. Compassion for that thing. Compassion for whoever caused it to you. Compassion for yourself for having gone through it and made it through to the other side and able to take action and make plans. We have the Four of Pentacles here. And this is showing like a balance, like a rest, like a stable rest. Like she's kind of just here, like the fact that she's brushing her hair in like this waterfall, she's just kind of hanging out on this rock. There's this like beautiful serene waterfall. It's like a recuperation almost, like okay, like I'm here now, like I've made it to the stable place. Maybe she was falling through this waterfall and it was like maybe a little slightly overwhelming where she was feeling, you know, out of sorts because she was like navigating these tough waters. But then here she is. She found this like beautiful place to like sit, relax. It's green. The green again is like that feeling of like the heart chakra, like the healing. Excuse me. And she's like leisurely brushing her hair. So I mean, like she's pretty relaxed here. Like everything's relaxed. She's reflecting. She's looking off into the future. Like, okay, so like I'm here. I made it. And she's like actually like, okay, so like what's next? Like what is coming next? So that's what is supporting us. Is we have this like rest mode. Like not rest, but like we've come to this place where things are balanced. We're not necessarily gaining anything, but we're not necessarily like losing anything. And it's not that we're not necessarily gaining anything. It's like we have like peace of mind here. It's like we feel stable. I think stable, especially after this tower moment. The tower is a way of like really shaking us up. Like this will just like shake you senseless. And like even though we're stepping into this powerful energy and reclaiming our power, it's still like new and it's like it's not necessarily, it's not scary, but it's like new and it shakes you up and like you might not know how to handle it. You might not have felt like you've been in your power before and like you're not sure like quite how to handle it. That's where the strength card comes in. The strength card is just showing you like, okay, be compassionate, and this role might be new for you and it might be uncomfortable, but let's face it, nothing good comes out of being comfortable or being complacent. Like take that plunge and like step into that power. Like you are that powerful. Claim your divine power. Claim the divinity within you. Claim that knowledge and that trust within you. Claim that like your soul knows what's best, and like, you know, like claim that you know the right thing. You just have to like listen to the voice inside of you. That is the divine voice. That is the divine guiding you. That is the universe literally speaking to you. Listen to that inner goddess or God. Like, hell yeah. So, okay, Spirit, what energies may be challenging us during this period of fresh starts, new beginnings in love? What energies may be a challenge for us in these... oh, there we go. Wow, we got 3 cards. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. This is... this is crazy. Okay. So we have the 9 of Swords. This is like anxiety. It's like fright. He's like stuck up on this thing. He doesn't know what to do. He's like in this tent. It's cold. There's this like mermaid down here. Like he just doesn't like know what to do. The waters are rough. There's rocks down here. He has all these swords around him. And this is usually like anxiety. So it's saying like let the anxiety go. This may be challenging you because again, you step into this... Like, here it is. Where is it? No. So you just went through this tower moment, right? Everything came crashing down. You're like, what the hell? Your heart chakra is opening up. You're, like, feeling all these new feelings. You may be a little more, like, emotional and, like, not knowing what's happening. But at the same time, you have this power here. Your sacral chakra is, like, opening up. your third eye and your crown chakra is like guiding you. You're like making plans. You know you have to be, you know, strong here. You're releasing old wounds and finishing those things up. You have this like new love coming in, whether it's love for somebody else, love for somebody you've been with and haven't seen in a while, love for yourself. And again, you're making these plans and you might not be sure what to do yet. And so this is causing you anxiety. It's maybe like causing you like a little bit of like, uh-oh, like now that I'm here, like now what? Like now what do I do? Like you're out of your comfort zone. You're not sure, like kind of like really what's going on. Our next card here is the Emperor. So this is like killer. Like this is just crazy. So we have this this is crazy. So we have this Two of Cups, which is like the divine union. Like it's like this really, then I kind of definitely feel like this is like with your person. So you have this love relationship that's like, you know, maybe blossoming or it was like put on hold or you haven't seen this person in a while, but like, you know, there's that spiritual, like divine love connection. Okay. And it could be any one of these. It could be that divine love connection within yourself. And this still is applicable for yourself, but this is interesting because we have the Empress and the Emperor, and these are counterparts. Like this is the divine couple. And this could be the masculine and feminine within each one of us, but this is like the divine couple. This is like Mary and Jesus. This is Rama and Shiva. This is there's like a million more. Like this is like the divine couple. Like this is like the yin to your yang. Okay, like this is the divine. This relationship was made. This is like your divine male counterpart. And if you're a man watching this, a masculine watching this, then again, like this could be you've stepped into your Empress energy where you're like fertile in like abundance, wealth, knowledge, nurturing. Maybe you're discovering that side of yourself, the feminine aspect. We all have that in us. So that feminine divine power. And then this is like the feminine or the masculine divine power. So it's authoritative. It's clear decision making. It's strong. He's got really nice arms. It's strong. He's above the kings. Like he is the king of kings, right? He is, so it's like stepping into this power. This is like kind of what's challenging us. So we've gone through this tower moment. We have this anxiety because we've stepped into this Empress energy as well. We have these new things coming in, and why is my phone is like dying. I hope you guys could see this. We have these new things coming in, so I'm going to finish up this reading swiftly. New things coming in. You're stepping into your Emperor energy, which is like decision-making, authority. You're stepping into that like masculine role. And the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is the king of like the tangible world, like the money, the whatever. And this is what's challenging us. It doesn't mean that we're not doing it or it's not going to happen. It just means that we are having anxiety over like realizing how to step into this like tangible version of this and how to like bring this in. So Spirit, one last card of how things might shift. And okay, one card for this. Okay, the Devil energy. The show is like releasing attachments. I don't know if you could see it, but they are in a cage. This is like releasing attachments and things that no longer serve you. And so this is showing that things are going to change and change for the better. Like this is releasing those old things that hold us back and make us feel small. This is again like that soul shrinker energy, like back here. It's the things that make us feel small, but also with this card, because we have this divine masculine and this divine feminine right here, the Emperor and Empress. I also feel like that this is like desire, like she's in this cage and like whatever. And if you guys aren't together or aren't like official or haven't made it, there's like this desire here for this treasure. Like she wants that stuff. Like it's about like wanting, it's that like lust, like I lust for that. Like I want that. And like that passion, like that's so, it could have like two meanings here, like for what's going to shift and change. I feel like this is a really good change. Like, it's a change for the better. And very, very quick, I'm just going to grab one guidance card because I know my phone is like literally on the way to die. But I'm going to grab you a guidance card. So Spirit, I just need, and this card just had to come out. What is it? Oh my God, the Three of Water. That's a celebration card. So this is like a party coming, like it's celebration, like abundance of emotion, abundance of love. Okay, so guys, I just need one Spirit, I just need one guidance card. Oop, or not a million, so we'll just take this one. Oh my goodness. Dude, I couldn't make this happen if I tried. It's unconditional love, guys. Step into that unconditional love. Unconditional love, and this is showing for the world, for everybody, because we are one. But it's also showing you have that love and unconditional love and compassion, like for yourself. This reading was so friggin' cool. Oh my God. Thank you guys. I just love that you're watching and that you joined me for this. Again, my name's Kara from Goddess to Goodness. Please feel free to, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my page. Please share the video if you feel that you should. And if you are in the Buffalo area and looking for readings, I do readings at Hotel Dalmatia, 1187 Tonawanda Street in Buffalo, New York, 8 to 11 every Friday night. And if you want a personal or private reading, please message me. Please check out my Goddess to Goodness page on Facebook, or you can message me right here on YouTube, and we can definitely set up a private reading for you. And oh my gosh, guys, this reading was just so cool. Thank you so much. And I'll miss you guys tomorrow night. But I will see you guys next Friday at Hotel Dalmatia. And I will be posting readings in between and whatnot. But like I said, all my light and love, guys. And have a great night. All my love.